Hi, it's Friday night, the 22nd of January, and day 22 of the year 2021. Today's Living the Dream experience may seem kind of silly, but I still think it was a Living the Dream experience. My home is a lovely condo that has an HOA that covers a lot of outside things like snow plowing removal, yard care, outside repairs, and other things on the street like paving it and that kind of thing. I am not a fan of HOAs, by the way, because I don't think I get much back for what I pay each month. Even though my home is paid for, I still have to pay out property insurances and this darn HOA fee, so it goes up there pretty much. Well, a couple of 3 months ago, we had a series of windstorms to come through that damaged my roof, and the HOA has to pay for those repairs. They actually decided that it was bad enough that the entire roof would need to be replaced, which has 4 large condos amongst that one unit. So today they are doing the roof, and it will cost the HOA somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 to replace it. Because of this, I will actually be recouped all the HO fees that I've paid over the last 8 or 10 years. So that's why I think today was truly a living the dream experience, to get that $15,000 value in my property. Anyhow, that said, here's my power statement I had for today. I'm going to take a few minutes to do some repetitive self-talk in order to reinforce and remap my thinking about my personal success, my coaching, and how I see myself as a coach. And then I'm going to focus on reprioritizing my to-do list today and get the most important 3 things done. With my focus group ad running now, I am not concerned about Tanya getting back to me, but I did want to see if I got any emails notifying me that someone had filled in the focus group request to participate form. And it hadn't yet, so I wanted to go up to my office as soon as possible and see if any new ones might have happened. Well, Tanya still hadn't replied by the time I went to my office and checked it. I noticed she hadn't replied yet to my emails or my voice messages, and there weren't any emails saying that the form had been filled out. Darn it. The Google Ads stats, though, did say that there were over 1,700 impressions and 473 visits, which means that 473 people watched my ad for more than 30 seconds. That's good, but I have to say that I need to see that what's going to take place is that they're going to see that and click the submit button. That's called a conversion. I'm hoping I can get at least 1%, so that if 3,600 people watch my video, that would be 36 people who filled out the form. Well, I'm going to have to wait and watch and see and adjust and tweak and do whatever I can to finally get up that conversion so it happens. Anyway, here's what I had on my to-do list for today, right here for Friday. All highlighted, all checked and done. Bam! And then I had some extra tasks that I got done today as well. All of those were done. Bam! Got those done. My most important task, however, for today was to continue working on writing the script for my next Good to Know Monday Tips video and hopefully record it too so that I can get it set up for Monday's email blast. My fun task for today was to just continue pressing forward on checking things out on my ad and start to think about what I need to do, if I need to make some tweaks on it, and make those tweaks and keep changing things out so finally it starts to connect with people. And next was my exciting task for today, which was to have my date night with Kathleen. It's Friday nights that are our date nights, and we've been doing it for 44 years. Next is my end of the day success routine question. Get honest with yourself, Marty. What didn't go well today, or what could you have done better today? Did you wake up early and start strong? Check. Did you start your morning with power? When the morning, when the day always starts my day with power. Were you productive throughout your day? You saw many pieces through the portal of my mind, manifest in the world of physical. Did you get the most important things today? Check, check, check. Did you move your goals forward? Absolutely. And did you show up as the person you wanted so that you had time with Kathleen and you were present for her and she was present for you? Yes, on all 3 counts. Next are my end of the day success routine accountability questions. Were you honest with yourself about today's task, Marty? In other words, did you keep your promises that you made yourself this morning? Well, first thing this morning, I promised myself that I would do my 3 most important tasks and then check on the focus group campaign ad in my Google's ad account and see the stats for the day and see if I need to tweak and watch and see what's happening. Bam, check, done. The next question is, what movies did you watch during your mindfulness time today, Marty? Did you make time for them? And were there any instant replay movies that you watched going to the movies today? Well, besides my must-see TV favorite 5 movies, I watched my focus group ads start to get folks to click on the submit button and fill out the request to participate form. I'm imagining it, though it's already happened. I'm speaking what I want to have happen. I like to imagine things happening as though it is actually happening in real time, and that's what I want it to be, is real and doing exactly what I built it to do. too. And so I hope that we never imagine things worrying like it's going to go wrong. I do not do that. I don't like to do that, and I never will. Next, my question says, what's the one thing that would make all the difference going forward? Well, what one thing can I do better tomorrow that even if it goes sideways getting it done, I'd still feel like a success? Well, doing my repetitive mind mapping self-talk is extremely important. Listen to that. Mind mapping self-talk is extremely important, and here's why. I wrote down my power state for tomorrow, and it includes this. I'm going to continue to redo and continue to do my repetitive self-talk, that mind mapping, to reinforce and remap my thinking about my personal success, my coaching, and how I want to see myself as the coach, what I want to make it mean. I will then focus on doing the 3 most important tasks that I need to get done today and get them done. Well, taking the time to do thought downloading on how I want to see myself as a coach and how I want to show up as a beginner entrepreneur coach, I believe is going to pay big dividends for me. And so I hope you do the same thing. The next question of my end of the day success routine is to ask myself, were there any mistakes or failures that you may have made today, Marty, that you can turn into a tool of success going forward? Well, there weren't any mistakes or failures that happened today, so no need to turn any failure into a tool of success. I know that they can happen, and they do happen, and I'm ready for them. And I'm ready to do this process of turning failures into tools of success, but not when nothing happens. So that's a fact. The next question is, what was your biggest success today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well? And what did you do well today matters. My biggest success today was working on steps for getting ready to change out my video for the next Good to Know Monday Tips. Bam, done. My next step is the end of the day success routine question that asked me to rate my day's effort. Well, I gave today's effort a 9. I gave today a 9 because I worked on having right thinking throughout the day, and I did the 3 important tasks as well. I decided to leave work a little early today, and so I dinged the effort by 1 point. Okay, I want to end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the principle that says much lack of self-confidence can be traced back to a mismanaged memory. Let me repeat that. Much lack of self-confidence can be traced back to a mismanaged memory. In other words, people choose what they want to make an experience mean to them, and how often, and it's too often, we make it mean something that really isn't true, or it's damaging to our self-image. For example, we often take a single failure or mistake and choose to make it mean we're a failure. These types of choices pile up until we destroy our self-image if we're not careful. People can be their own worst enemy because of what they choose to make such experiences mean. And those experiences become the false memories that work against us unless we correct them by replacing them with new stories, with a new mapping. These principles lead to the next thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the law of memories, which says our brains are very much like bank accounts. Every day we make thought deposits into our mind bank accounts. These thought deposits grow and become our memories. When we settle down to think, or when we face a problem, in effect we say to ourselves, our memory bank, what do I already know about this or that that's happening? Our memory bank's accounts automatically answers and supplies us with the bits of information that relate to this situation or that situation that we deposited on previous occasions, even maybe years ago. Our memories then are the basic supplier of raw data or material for our new thoughts. I call the teller overseeing my memory bank account Amigo One. I talk about my 2 amigos all the time. And the Amigo One is the gatekeeper. He or she is tremendously reliable. He never crosses me up. If I ask him, or even I begin to think about a topic, he goes and withdraws immediately those bits of information or thoughts I deposited years ago to prove, for example, that I'm inferior to everybody else around me. He'll tell me, sir, recall what your 6th grade teacher told you about your inability to accomplish things. Recall what you overheard Tommy say about you in the group. Recall. The opposite is true as well, though. If you begin to think about how smart you are, this same amigo, my Amigo One or teller, will retrieve all the bits of information that have built up over time to support that idea or thought as well. You remember when they said you were fantastic, etc., etc. This leads me to the next thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for Dr. Sarah Swart, who said self-worth is the value we put upon ourselves or how we see our own value. It's also how we communicate to the universe what we believe we deserve to receive back. It's common to confuse self-worth versus self-esteem. Self-worth is how we value ourselves in the long run, whereas self-esteem is how we feel about ourselves in any given moment, which can ebb and flow quite frequently. In actuality, self-worth is a principle that influences the law of attraction in our lives. What do I mean by that? We attract into our lives what we are subconsciously projecting our self-worth level to be, either a good self-image or a bad one. The law of attraction follows either messaging you give it. So I suggest we no longer settle for old, low self-worth memories and bad habits. I suggest we raise our self-worth, how we value ourselves and how we see ourselves, so that we magnetize that which we authentically desire into the portal of our minds. And then by our actions, we can manifest those positive desires into our world of the physical. Bam! It becomes reality. I'm going to leave it there because I have a lot more to share on this. I'm getting a little wheezy and tired here. And so I'll just simply close this off and say that I'll be back here tomorrow night at my laptop. And until then, though, I wish you continued success. Good night.